All right, second on our list of the year's most undercovered Vatican stories, a criminal charge in Peru. So, Monsignor Jordi Bertomeu is a Spanish, it's not really completely accurate. He is a Catalan official who is employed in the Vatican's dicastery for the doctrine of the faith. But more importantly, he is one of the two-member sort of special team that the Pope employs to investigate the most egregious sexual abuse cases in the Catholic Church. The other member of that duo is Maltese Archbishop Charles Scicluna. And in 2023, Pope Francis sent that team to Peru to investigate a sort of mounting series of sexual abuse claims against the Sodali Christian Life, or the SCV, which had been founded in 1971 by Peruvian layman Luis Fernando Figari. Now, as part of that process, Bertomeu and Scicluna interrogated. That is, they heard the testimonies of a variety of different people, including a couple of people who have ties to the SCV and whose testimony was basically positive towards the organization. Later, these two individuals made a criminal complaint in Peru against Bertomeu for allegedly leaking both their identities and details of their testimony to the press. Now, we're not even right now going to get into the merits of that charge. I would just note it has been vigorously disputed by other parties. But what's most important is this. This charge should have been laughed out of court in Peru the moment it was filed, as a violation of every codicil of international law that has ever been drawn up. Instead, it is currently before the Peruvian Attorney General for review, meaning there is at least a theoretical possibility that it could go forward. Now, here is a summary of the problem with this case. Number one, it would represent a violation of the Vatican's sovereignty by eating away at the diplomatic immunity its officials are supposed to enjoy. Scicluna and Bertomeu are not the Vatican's ambassadors to Peru. They don't work at the embassy, which means they don't enjoy the personal immunity that embassy personnel carry. But because they were officials of the Holy See in Peru on official business, they enjoy what's called conduct-based immunity, which is widely recognized under international law. It's been recognized by the International Criminal Court. It's been recognized by the American government and virtually every other government on the face of the earth. So were this case to go forward, it would essentially represent a chipping away at Vatican sovereignty. Secondly, there's the obvious religious freedom issue involved here. Should this case go forward, it would essentially put a secular state in the position of judging how a religious organization ought to run its internal affairs. That is a classic violation of religious freedom. And then finally, third, this would impede the Vatican's ability to conduct investigations of sexual abuse charges around the world at a time when pretty much the unanimous global chorus is that the Vatican needs to deliver swift and sure justice for these kinds of offenses. The point is, this is an extraordinary serious case. And the fact that it has generated virtually no international coverage or interest, frankly, is nothing short of flabbergasting. I mean, it is true, of course, that this outfit, the SCV, has a reputation for, filing lawsuits against people for any kind of coverage it doesn't like. But that doesn't really justify the fact that, basically speaking, the global media has dropped the ball on this story, because something far more important than the fate of the SCV is at stake here. It's the Vatican's sovereignty, its religious freedom, and it's the fight against sexual abuse in all of its forms.